two, a human being being sliced into two. Can you imagine such a thing? Biafra is going to emerge as a nation. Despite the support of Britain, Russia, Egypt, and some other friends of Nigeria, we all will surely come out as a nation because we are fighting a just cause. Even a little child on the street will tell you this. We shall never go back to Nigeria again. God's grace will surely emerge as a nation. And so, as far as this war continues, we'll fight to the last man.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Biafra Superstars Media. Today, I present to you a man I love, a man who as a child was there during the Biafran War, a man who suffered kwashoko during the Biafran War. I speak of no other than the Biafran Golden Child, the real Biafran Golden Child. Today he will speak about the debacle of our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa with the Finnish Foreign Affairs Minister. I want you to know that the brain behind this is Yusuf Tuggar. He is the Foreign Minister of Nigeria. He is the one that went about inviting all the Nordic foreign ministers to Nigeria, and they were then ambushed with a question about Simon Ekpa and bringing Simon Ekpa to Nigeria. Mr. Yusuf Tuggar is responsible. And today, the Biafran Golden Child will address him accordingly. If you're ready, I present to you the Biafran Golden Child. Thank you.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're hearing my voice from. Yes, once again, highly appreciative of the opportunity given by the Biafra Superstar Media to interact with my people and lovers of freedom all over the world, and people who are sympathetic to the plight of the Igbo and the Igbo man. Yes, I'm really glad to have this opportunity to interact with us today. I want to talk briefly about what I saw on the social media today. It was a breaking news in one of the dailies, and it was equally in the newscast of yesterday. Yes, basically the news is about a meeting Nigeria's Foreign Affairs Minister, Mr. Yusuf Tuggar. Mr. Yusuf Tuggar is Nigeria's Foreign Affairs Minister, and he conveyed a meeting, he organized a meeting between the Foreign Affairs Ministers of some of the European countries. Yes, in attendance were, representatives from Sweden, from Iceland, from Norway, ministers, foreign affairs ministers from Sweden, from Iceland, from Finland, and even representatives came from Denmark and Norway. Yes, they were all together, and during the course of the discussions and parley, the Nigerian government told them via their Minister for Foreign Affairs, Mr. Yusuf, Tuggar. Yes, Mr. Tuggar told them all the efforts they have been doing, they've been making, writing, corresponding, sending emissaries and all sorts through diplomatic channels to Finland and to Europe countries to help Nigeria, arrest and disintegrate the activities of dissidents who are hiding, using their foreign abodes in these countries, to perpetrate serious crimes against the Nigerian sovereignty, to preach treason and felony, and to encourage all sorts of criminal activities in Nigeria. I mean, Mr. Tuggar said Nigeria has held high-ranking delegations previously, emissaries. They have written, letters and correspondences to these people. They have complained heavily, even institutionalized some of these cases in the courts against these individuals. And they find it really difficult when some of these countries, European countries, do not cooperate with them. So when Mr. Yusuf Tuggar organized this discussion and meeting at Abuja, like I said, foreign ministers of Finland, Finland was there, and she made a very powerful presentation, which is basically what I want to discuss briefly here. Yes, Elena Valtran is Elena Valtonen is the Foreign Affairs Minister for Finland. Yes, where she spoke at Abuja during this meeting convened by the Nigerian Foreign Affairs Minister, Mr. Yusuf Tuggar. Elena was very clear and unequivocal when she reassured the Nigerian government that yes, we are very much aware of all the miseries, the messages, the diplomatic envoys you have been sending to us. We are equally aware of your, legal disputes with some people who reside in our country. In particular, we are talking about Mr. Simon Ekpa and all that he represents in Finland, especially about his, well, she said she didn't want to really call it anything negative, but she said they have been watching his activities, they are cooperating with Nigerian government, they assure Nigerian government that in no time they will help Nigerian government get this man and get his cohorts, to face any relevant charges in Nigeria. And she assured Nigeria that no European country, especially Scandinavian countries like, including Finland, will want to encourage anybody to want to create upsurge in any democracy or create insurrections in any government. He said Finland is a peace-loving nation who believes in democratic forms of, protest and legitimate forms of protest. That they, Finland government, will not permit or encourage anybody or keep any such person in their custody or within their, confines of their country if they find out they're engaging in this kind of practice, perpetrating injustice, wickedness, and encouraging, felony and, insurrection. These were the words of the foreign minister of Finland, Mrs. Elena. That's what she is. And so Nigerian government, represented by, of course, Nigeria's foreign minister, Mr. Yusuf Tuggar, were overjoyed, and they started, eulogizing the foreign affairs minister, saying that finally they are going to get Mr. Simon Ekpa into their hands. Yes, they said Mr. Ekpa is, apart from perpetrating huge and costly killings in Nigeria, he is equally the one who forces people to sit at home and shun economic activities, which has, reaped the nation and some of these states much needed resources that run into millions. He says Simon Ekpa is also running a parallel government, from Sweden in Nigeria, and has made a lot of very unpleasant and incendiary remarks against the Nigerian government. And so they will be very happy if the Finland government will bring this man into their hands so that he can come and face the justice in Nigeria. Yes, and so I read all this and I heard all this, and I just said to myself, it's just unfortunate that the Nigerian government does not want to tell itself the truth. It's unfortunate that people chase shadow and not game. I mean, I can't imagine what the Foreign Affairs Minister of Nigeria is hoping to achieve by making statements that are bereft of truth. I mean, making accusations that are unfounded, baseless. I mean, I find it highly ludicrous, if not ridiculous too, that such high personalities like the Swedish minister, Finland Minister for Foreign Affairs, Iceland ministers, and Swedish authorities and all that could come all the way to come and listen to this kind of talk. It's all balderdash to me. Balderdash it is. Yes, because for us Igbo people, especially pro-Biafra people, for those of us who have considered the plight of the Igbo man, for those of us who have realized and noted with a grim reality the words that have come out from personalities, pro-Biafra personalities like Nnamdi Kanu, our maximum leader, who told us, who encouraged us, look, my dear Igbo brothers, I come in peace. I come in peace. I want us to realize that what we are suffering in the hands of Nigeria, what we are undergoing in the hands of Nigeria, where the Igbo man has been treated as a second-class fiddle, where the Igbo man has not been given his rightful way and stay in this country, where the Igbo man is at the beck and call of everybody, where at the point of any infraction, any riots, any protest, any altercation within Nigeria country, the blame has always been shifted to the Igbo man. And so he told us that if our people cannot achieve, our goals in Nigeria, Nigeria should let us go. We want to move peacefully to our own land. We want to go to our own region and try to, build up our own place, build up our own cities, build up our own villages, build up our own environment where we'll be accepted as complete and normal human people. I mean, I don't think there's anything bad in that. I don't think Nnamdi Kanu has at any point in time encouraged anybody to carry guns and start shooting any person. Or rather, it is the peaceful demonstrators that have always come, that have always experienced undue severe attacks from the security personnel. It has always been a case of peaceful protests, peaceful demands being met with heavy artillery bombings. I mean, that's the reality. So anybody who says any person in Biafra is preaching, any form of felony and insurgents is not saying the truth. Simon Ekpa. Our Simon Ekpa is a peaceful man, educated, a young man who equally listened to his master, to his mentor, Nnamdi Kanu. And when Nnamdi Kanu got incarcerated, when Nnamdi Kanu got kept away for no reasons beyond sheer wickedness of governments, sheer wickedness of heart, a man who went for a peaceful mission in Kenya was abducted, incarcerated, abducted and repatriated to Nigeria. And so there he is, undergoing trumped of charges. Today court, tomorrow court, today found guilty, next tomorrow not guilty, all the time. Every effort has been made to keep him, in a permanent condition of shut up. Many a time he's incommunicado with his lawyers, many a time he's incommunicado with his family, many a time he's incommunicado with associates, many a time he's kept in solitary confinement, all in an attempt to make sure they break his resolve, to kill his spirit, to strangle him if they can. The only reason possibly why they have not completely eliminated him is because they know the people he represents, they know the people who are behind him, they know his brothers and sisters in Southeast, in Biafra land, will take it to the highest levels. If anything negative, if anything untoward happens to our, own Nnamdi Kanu. That's why they are still keeping him alive. And so Simon Ekpa has taken the gauntlet. Simon Ekpa has taken the gauntlet. He said, look, even though you are holding my man, even though you are holding my leader, I still think we still have a voice. I think the Igbo man has to be listened to. Yes, the Igbo man has suffered enough. We have been treated like social pariahs. We have been treated like abandoned projects. We have been treated like castaways. The Igbo man in Nigeria have been treated like unwanted people. We have been treated like people who have been conquered in a war. We have been deprived of every opportunity to grow and assert ourselves. We have been deprived of every opportunity to seek and retain power. We have been deprived of every opportunity to seek elected offices. Even jobs that we Igbo people look for, they don't give it to them. I mean, they have put us in a permanent condition of subjugation. And Simon Ekpa said, no, it can't continue to be like this. No, there must be a way out. We should rise above these things. And he has always preached peace. He's a man of peace. He said, yes, let's tell them. I don't think talking is talking. Talking is not by any means shooting. Talking is not a security breach. Talking is not in any way, reactionary. But it's a peaceful talk. He's bringing it to the public, enunciating the ideals we want, enunciating the goals of the Biafran people, enunciating the problems of the Biafran people, creating the awareness, making it known to the whole world. Yes, in the course of this, he has told us, hopefully, with all this propaganda, with all these, proclamations, with all this, let's continue to talk. The world will listen. When you talk and talk, the world will listen. People will listen. Someday, hopefully, we are hoping that we are going to, be liberated. We will get liberation. It will be victory at last, eventually. And that's what Simon Ekpa has been telling us. And they said, yes, for the purpose of this victory, let every Igbo man, wherever he is, let us keep certain days to ourselves. Let us remember our fallen heroes, people who have died in Biafra, people who were killed between 1966, 67, 68, 69, 70. He said, let us remember these people. And for this sake, there are days we should hold, as special days for Biafra. Yes, we are fighting for ourselves. Yes, we are looking into our situation. We are trying to better our life as Igbo people. And so he said, these days, let us sit back and reflect on Biafra. Let us think of our fallen heroes. Let us think about the plight of the Igbo man. Let us begin to think how we can all successfully pilot all our people into the United States of Biafra. And so he said, we can stay at home. Of course, it was a peaceful one. Of course, it was a peaceful protest. Of course, sitting at home is a peaceful one. But of course, the Nigerian authorities are always the ones who instigate the trouble. They bring security operatives, soldiers, police, and they start shooting innocent people. They start forcing people to go to work, start forcing people to go to farms, start forcing people to forget their culture, to not remember their martyrs who had died for them. And so people revolted. I want to make it clear to everybody. I've never seen any Igbo man who carried a gun and was shooting any other person. We've never seen that. It is not the nature of the Igbo man. It is not the nature of our people to shed blood. We don't do that. It is not in our system. It is not in our DNA. We know those who send viral videos where they are cutting people's neck, they are slaughtering people, they are killing people, and they are shouting all manners of slogans. We see them in videos. It is not the Igbo man. It is not our culture. We know those who do that. And so when the Foreign Affairs Minister is pointing hands at the Igbo, as Simon Ekpa, as a brigand, as a man who is perpetrating the highest levels of felony, as a man who has created so much security breaches in Nigeria, as a man who has commanded several armies, several security, unknown security operations in Nigeria, as a man who has fought, oh my God, what is he trying to achieve? A peaceful man, a peaceful protest, a people fighting for their rights to self-determination. and you are calling them felony. You are saying they get in treasonable felony. You are saying that perpetrators of injustice at the highest level. You are saying they commandeer unknown government, unknown security operatives, unknown government. Oh my God. You see, of course, we know the saying, you give a dog a bad name because you want to kill it or you want to maim it. I mean, that's what the Foreign Affairs Minister was doing. But hey, here's a piece of advice to the Finnish Minister for Foreign Affairs. Yes, Mrs. Elina Valtonen. I don't know if I called that correctly, but her name is Elina Valtonen. Madam, with all due respect, I appreciate, you coming all the way from Finland, in company of Swedish foreign ministers, Norwegian foreign ministers, Iceland foreign ministers, and, people of high authority, coming all the way. It goes a long way, really. It goes a long way to show that you appreciate the black man and the African and maybe the Nigerian people. But dear madam, with all due respect, I want you to know, ma'am, that the gentleman that the Nigerian authorities mentioned to you, Simon Ekpa, is a peace-loving gentleman who has never meant any harm, has never in any way engaged in a manner that has in any way disrupted public peace. He does not commandeer any secret armies. He has never told anybody go, and frustrate any government or create any incendiary actions or kill any person. No way. If he has said that, we ourselves will bring it to the limelight and we'll say, no, that is not the way to go about it. But what Simon Ekpa represents to us is a bold, pragmatic, and vibrant personality that has stood out for his people. I mean, he knew the Igbo man needed a voice. He knew the Igbo people needed somebody to speak for them, not just speak for them, to point and guarantee them this is the way forward. And so Simon for us is not a warrior, as in a gun-toting warrior or a spear-shooting warrior. No, he's for us a brain that has articulated what the average Igbo man desires as a way forward for himself and his generation. So for us, it's not about any go and shoot, go and kill. No, we don't do that. For us, this gentleman is a peaceful, loving person who only in his own way creates an awareness into the plight of his region in Nigeria. Equally, while enumerating these plights, while enumerating these sufferings that the Igbo man is going through, is equally telling us the way forward. That if the Nigerian government cannot guarantee us our fundamental human rights, if the Nigerian government cannot guarantee us, a pathway, free pathway to success, self-development and achievement, if the Nigerian government does not make the Igbo man have a pride of place in this contraction called Nigeria, in this country we call Nigeria, then, of course, they should allow people go. We have our region, we have our people, we have our villages. They should allow us go back. Go back and repackage ourselves. Go back and regroup ourselves. Go back and create our own structures, create our own institutions in a way amenable and suitable to our unique needs. I mean, this is what Biafra is all about. This is what we are clamoring for. We want a country, and a region. We want a coalition of people who have one voice. A coalition of people who can achieve whatever they want to achieve. A coalition of people who will not be disenfranchised about or upon. A coalition of people who have one voice, where there will be no suspicion. We want a place where there will be zero tolerance for corruption. We want a place where there will be zero tolerance for tribalism and nepotism, which is what is happening in Nigeria. There's a lot of instigations against the Igbo man. There's a lot of accusations against the Igbo man. When normal protests, peaceful protests are had, they blame the Igbo man for it. That is the one in charge of it. When the Igbo man comes out, he's blamed. When he doesn't come out, they say he's blamed. He deceived others to come. And then he's gone back. When the Igbo man does not follow to destroy anything, they say, he didn't come to destroy. He has made us destroy our own. When he comes out, and they will frame him for... So we are tired of this. And so for us, Simon Ekpa is a voice crying in the wilderness, telling his people, this is the way forward. This is the way forward. That is what it is. And he has told us, hopefully, that if we continue in this peaceful agitation, if we continue to create the awareness around the world, in the global world, worldwide, that yes, hopefully, a time will come, and that time is soon, when the world will listen to us. And when the world listens to us, by God's grace, with the strenuous of what we're putting in, with the totality of our conviction that we're doing the right thing, that hopefully come 2nd December 2024, the United States of Biafra will emerge fully as a sovereign nation. We have not in any way put Nigeria at risk. Nobody has bombed anywhere. Nobody has attacked any person. Nobody has disrupted anything. Nigeria is still doing their business as usual, making their money through oil, making their money through their different parastatals, the banking and the oil sector and banking, every sector. We have never disrupted anything. But the only thing Simon Ekpa represents for us is a voice, a compass pointing to a direction, a hope, a Messiah. Because we needed a voice. We needed someone to liberate us from the hegemonic attacks from Nigeria. The Igbo man has suffered. Elena, Your Excellency, Foreign Affairs Minister of Finland, please do not be dismayed. Do not be deflated from what you represent. Please look at things from a broader perspective. Look at things from, two sides of the coin. We never make any judgment listening to one person. Nigeria is besought with a lot of abnormalities, corruption, nepotism, all manners of wickedness. And then to top that, insecurities. And most of the insecurities are coming from the Boko Haram, from the north. From the Boko Haram. Most of these insecurities are coming from the herdsmen, Fulani herdsmen, who have chased away farmers from their villages, from their farmlands, and made it impossible for farmers to grow foods. They've made it impossible for crops to be maintained. They've made agricultural activities zero in areas where that are food baskets of Nigeria. And so food scarcity is everywhere. Killing and maiming of farmers. People go to their farmlands to take care of their farmlands, check their crops and all, harvest their yams, harvest their corn, harvest their cocoyam. But immediately they go there with their families. Come evening, when these bandits come, what do? You see gory details. The man who came with his family, 2 wives and maybe 7 children, to come do farm, to come and check his crops, to come and harvest his crops. What you see is a dismembered human parts. If you see a head here, if you see a leg there, if you see an arm here, if you see this there, oh, that's the farmer's head, that's the farmer's face, oh, that's the shoe he wore in his leg, oh, that is his rain boot, that is, oh my God, this is what we see every day. People being dismembered, killed, maimed, chased from their farmlands, and their crops either burnt ablaze or harvested prematurely, carted away by these insurgents, Fulani herdsmen, Boko Haram, and nobody is talking. The Nigerian government has not gone to Niger Republic to trace who are these foreign infiltrators through that area. They have not gone to Chad to arrest those people or tell them to call those people to order. No. But every time the Igbo man talks peacefully, every time the Igbo man, makes his comments about the situation in the country, every time the Igbo man creates an awareness, of his plight in Nigeria, the whole government comes out, the security operatives comes out, a combined team of military, naval, police, national security corps, peace corps, everybody comes out to make sure the Igbo man is silenced. But when it comes to the north, when it comes to the southwest, when agitators come out from those areas, they are treated with kid gloves. They are pardoned and allowed to go scot-free. Nobody talks about it. As soon as it's an issue involving the Igbo man, in the name of Nnamdi Kanu, they grab him. All manners of legal tussles, all legal perpetrations are done to keep him incarcerated. Now is the turn of Simon Ekpa, our beloved Simon Ekpa, the man we call the Prime Minister of Biafra, the man, our beloved son, our beloved brother. Now they are calling on the Finnish authorities, send him back, bring him here. Let us deal with him. Let us handle him. Let us, come on. Must the Igbo man begin to suffer? Must he continue to suffer because he's Igbo? Must the Igbo man be hated? Must Nigeria carry this hatred even up to such a high level, international proportions? Why? So, Finnish Prime Minister, we've heard you. Thank you for the meeting, and other Scandinavian countries that came, European countries that attended the meeting. We wish you well. We wish you safe journeys back to your place. But please, let Igbos be. Let Simon Ekpa be. Let the Igbo man breathe. We can't breathe in Nigeria. We are suffocating. We've been suffocating. We want to breathe. We can't breathe. And the only time we can breathe, man, that breath of fresh air is coming when the Igbo man is assured of his right of place in this country called Nigeria. Otherwise, come December 2nd, 2024, we are looking forward to the final hope of the Igbo man, the inauguration of the United States of Biafra. Thank you, and I wish you all the same. God bless you.
Yeah, Biafra. Yeah, Superstar Media. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the motherland. Tell me about Biafra. I wanna know. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the motherland. Tell me about Biafra. I wanna know. We going back to the land. We going back to the motherland. Biafra. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the land. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the motherland. Tell me about Biafra. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the land.